You could be forgiven for thinking this was simply a picturesque Nova Scotia beach, because to get the full story on what lies here, you'd have to know 88-year-old Wilfred Ogilvie.
Most people thought that was the wharf, but they didn't know there was 3 old ships buried in the sand.
But rushing water from flash flooding this summer exposed the hull of one of those ships, the Hamburg. Summerville is next to the Avon River, which flows from the Minas Basin part of the Bay of Fundy, which means the tide comes and goes at this beach at the end of Block Wharf Road.
This whole bay will fill up to 44 feet of water.
Which is how evidence of the region's rich shipbuilding heritage was buried over time.
That is part of one of the pins that held the planks on these ships. Those were all probably handmade.
More than a century ago, the wooden vessels hauled local gypsum and lumber overseas. But once the steam engine came along, the ships were permanently parked.
And for years, they sat there and probably sunk pretty well every day. And then the gravel started building in around them.
The tide is coming in now, and the tide is such here that within 6 hours, all this will be underwater, including the ships buried below.
So visiting the Hamburg's remains has to be timed just right.
Oh, I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed.
Local photographer Irvin Leopold documents local history and didn't know about the ships at Summerville until the Hamburg came to light.
This is, this is a museum sitting right here. You can walk back 100 years of time right here. That's pretty amazing to do that.
Now that Summerville's secret is out, he hopes people will come see the ship for themselves, a piece of our past brought into our present. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Summerville, Nova Scotia.